Have you read or heard of a book called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield?
I'm actually not. Nope.
So this is perfect. This is perfect. I feel like it'll resonate and land with you like really, really well. He has this idea of the muse, right? And it's based on like the mythology of the muse, which is like often a female who inspired like heroes. But in this case, the muse is a metaphysical being that inspires creatives, and the muse is like the let's call it the creative force in the universe that you have to almost worship every day through the ritual of your art. And the muse is a source of inspiration. And for people that listen to that and it sounds like abstract and they get cynical and think, well, what's the evidence for that and anything like that, right? I'd ask them, when you're inspired, did you choose what inspired you? Did you choose how that inspiration manifested in your mind or your behavior? My argument sways towards no. It is almost like inspiration possesses you. And that is what this idea is based on. And the role of being an artist, which is where, my question comes in, whether you resonate with this, is to show up every day and pay your respects to the muse. And in return, whatever creative forces are going on in the universe possess you and give you the ideas and the motivation and the drive to create the pieces that you do. Does that land for you?
I think it's a big part of it. Absolutely. First, you've been chosen. You've been chosen. This is, for me, this is almost like that happened. I was living my life doing whatever, and also uncovering art was unexpectedly. I was hanging out with my boys in Queens, in Astoria. It's a neighborhood here in New York. And I felt bored just to look at my phone and ask my friend, hey, do we have a canvas and extra paint brushes, So he lent me some. And I'd start doing something very subconsciously, like totally playing as a child from the point of curiosity. But it felt very meditative. It also felt good enough for me to return to do it again in a week, and then in a week again, and then go buy art supplies and start doing it every single day. And then I found myself in this small electrical room in my first art studio, which is burned out in fire in 2020, every single night. And then I'm seeing, and I've created series of work. So, and also visions came through to me, which just showed me that this is how I kind of have evolved with my life. So first, it starts as you just shared. It felt like it's being channeled on top of your consciousness, on top of your head. It's like this drop, divine, and like something, like you just was like, like flying through, and then boom, now everything has changed. And then, I call it a gift. So you was gifted something significant. Here it's already up to you. I believe for the successful endeavors to be achieved and is point of relationships is matters. So be chosen as one thing, but also to choose back. Consciously choose back what you do.
Well, that's interesting, right? Because that also links to the themes in the very same book, right? Because he brings in another concept that he calls resistance. And I guess that can be synonymous with like procrastination or lack of discipline or laziness. But he said, the muse will not just possess you and you'll create work out of your control. Your contribution is to show up as regularly as you physically can as an artist, and that's where the work happens. You think about the novelist that fights through writer's block, in inverted commas, where it just doesn't seem to flow. The showing up every day, choosing back, to use your term, is how you earn the inspiration. Sometimes it comes in dribs and drabs, and you might have a dry spell for a month, but then suddenly you have a dream, you have a vision, you see your next work, you see your next plot line, you see your next line in a poem, and you put pieces together, and it's the commitment, the choosing back is where you earn the inspiration. I think that's a really great message that actually people can take away and action into their lives.
It's very hard to notice. Go ahead, Jacob. Mm-hmm.
It's the art of like noticing, having that like antennae to allow messages to come in you.
Yes, to be the channel. Open yourself up to be the channel, 100%.
Absolutely, guys, 100%. And in the same time, when you're choosing back, you do this consciously, not because you have to. There is a point of responsibility comes in. But also by choosing back again and again and again, you opening this portal so wide that you don't need to anymore work for it. Honestly, I can paint anywhere, anytime. I don't believe in artist struggle. I don't believe that there is an artist block exist. And one of my theories why is that why I never faced artist block for 8 years. And one of the fears is actually what you guys just mentioned is consciously coming back, being chosen, but also choose back, show up every single day. Depending, doesn't matter what's happening in your life, happy, sad, you show up, and you show up with love consciously, right? If you don't like what you do, please stop it. Just, this is something we're not talking about. If it doesn't resonate with you, don't force yourself. The world, the universe has so much to offer. The endeavor is to find what's resonate with you. Your heart do knows. The mind might question it, but your heart, the feeling inside of your solar plexus, is definitely tells you this is what you're here to do. This is how it happened to me. So by showing up every single day, by choosing back, by being chosen, by receiving the visions, ideas, and bringing those invisible force and make it visible for others, you almost building relationships. It becomes like this divine sacred relationships with this invisible life force, with the creative spirit itself. So when you constantly show up, spirit trusts you, and you anymore, everything what you have to do is just show up, live your life, enjoy, do all the human things and so on. But this is where probably all the artist blocks, struggles goes away. Because you're gonna be filled with ideas. You will have no. What's my problem? My problem is the fourth dimension, which is time. That I feel like there's not enough time in a day. I wish I would accomplish more. I wish during this lifetime, hopefully, I will able to manifest, execute everything I see. I came here to do. It's not even up to me in some way, but this is what I hope for. And there is a plenty of ideas, plenty of visions, plenty of projects is waiting for you. So,
I wonder if you'd agree with this, Joel. It's like when you're so engaged in your passion, it feels like what you're working on, it isn't you doing it, and that you're just the meat vehicle, that the source can go through you onto the painting, onto the sport, onto the game you're playing.
100%. I mean, for context, Alex, I'm an athlete, right? And I play at quite a high level. And when I'm in competition, there is no time for conscious me, the ego consciousness, the person talking to you now. There is no time for me to regulate my body and my behavior in that competition environment. The way I sort of philosophize it is that my training possesses me. So the work that I've done over a series of years, and then for that specific competition, a series of months, is in order to lay down a foundation of skills that then take over when it comes to competition. And I built like a theory about this a couple months ago, that then in competition, you don't have to put pressure on yourself because it's not actually you doing it. You as an ego consciousness, you're not the one competing. You show up every day and train, but when it comes to the moment of pressure, the moment of where it matters, you can let what you've done previously just take over and flow with the moment. It's sort of a Mr. Miyagi wax on, wax off type mentality. But yeah, really, very true, Jake. And I think I want to just linger for a moment, if you don't mind, boys, on this idea of choosing back. Because not only do I think it's super relevant to your story, Alex, as you've mentioned, but I think it's relevant to everybody, right? Even if you're not an artist, even if you don't think that a creative path is your path in life, right? I do feel like, and I wonder if you'll agree, that things and circumstances outside of our control nudge us in certain directions. So that could be the off chance that you met somebody one day and then they become a friend or a mentor and they help you make decisions. Or you're born with a certain talent in a certain field or with a certain interest in like maths or biology or chemistry, or you love music or whatever it is, right? There is this like the universe choosing you, right? To go down this certain path. But choosing back is the way that you like you said, Alex, take responsibility and make use of that door opening. It's like the universe choosing you opens the door, and you choosing back is your ability to walk through the door. And I think about it for myself, the fact that I was born in the circumstances that I were, that led me to discover the sport I did and get to this point where I can do it full time now. I was chosen to do that. I was put in those circumstances to make those decisions. But choosing back is my discipline to show up and train and to commit to this craft and to develop my sports psychology and try and be a good teammate and a good player and all of that. And I think there's a lot that people can take away from that, no matter what your specific path is.
Absolutely, Jen. Absolutely, gentlemen. Absolutely. As well, I believe everybody is an artist. Ultimately, every single decision you take in life, this is artistic act. This is a creative act. Every time you decide what you're gonna have for breakfast, for lunch, or dinner, you cook or not, or one day you might try. This is creative act. Every time you decide what to wear to go out into the world, even you do this subconsciously, this is creative act. You live in your artistic life. You're walking through as an artist. You don't paint the life with brushes, but you paint the life with your decisions. So every single time, subconsciously or consciously, you participate in a creative act. So ultimately, everybody's an artist. Same, that's a reflection of this higher idea of a creator, of a God. We are a little drops of that reflection. We have a chance in this lifetime, limited chance in this physical vessels to experience that gift.